So 2026 is upon us in literally 4 days. So that means we need a physical TBR for January of 2026. I have got like 9 that I'm trying to hopefully read in January, but whatever I don't read in January would obviously get rolled over to February, and then whatever I don't read in February, so on. But the one I do want to mainly focus on, because I've actually started this, is You by Caroline Kemps. I haven't read the series, despite the fact that the TV show, the Netflix adaptation, is actually out, and it has been out for quite a few years now. This is like quite an old book. Like I don't know how old, but like 28. This first, yeah, 2018. Well, this paperback was 2018, but it's originally 2014, so it's like 12 years old originally. So the next like 8 books is in like a big fucking like thing. So we're gonna go, yeah. So we've got Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I haven't read a single Ali Hazelwood. I don't know if I have read a Ali Hazelwood book, but I know I do have a few. I haven't read any that I can think of at the moment, so I'm hoping to get into Ali Hazelwood in 2026. I know she has quite a few books out. This one says she's got 3, but this is like one of her 2023, so it's like 3 years old. So she's had a few more releases since this book came out, and so yeah, it says 4, well 5 if you include this. So yeah, this is when I've started, as you can tell by the Afterlights bookmark, and it's Priest. I got this yesterday in the Boxing Day sale, and I actually want to put it in my physical TBR because I've read like 70 pages. Yeah, I'm on chapter 7, which is page 69, ironically. So I got page like 69, and I do wanna. I've only got this one in the series, so I could only find this one in the Waterstones that I went to yesterday, which was Boxing Day. I'm filming this like 4 days before the end of the year, so I'm hoping to get through Priest, and then I do want to read more of Sierra Simone because apparently she's a really good author. I'm loving Priest. I have heard mixed reviews on the book overall, but I'm loving it. Well, each to their own, like, as you know. So yeah, this one's shocking that I haven't actually read it yet, considering it's been on my physical TBR for quite a while now. Like within like 2025, I got it in 2025 on like a deal from a fucking supermarket. It was like 2 for £8 or something like that. It's a Court of Thorns and Roses. I am trying to get to a lot of Sarah J Maas's books, but this will be my first one by the author. I haven't read anything by her prior to this book, so when I read this will be my first book, considering she's got quite a lot. This series has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. Crescent City, well, that's just what this book says. And it was like 2020. Publishing Great Britain 2015. So she might have had a few more books since then added to the series. 2 in Crescent City, and then we've got the Front of Glass series. But there might be more. I'm just going off what this page says. This copyright of this is 2023. So, and this book came out in 2015. So I don't actually know how many she's got. I just know she's got whatever is said on the series page. This one doesn't really give the theme of January, New Year, because it's Firestarter by Stephen King. I have started it. I'm on page like 74. Yeah, so I'm on page 74. I'm trying to get to a lot of Stephen King's backlog, so I am going to try and like. I haven't got them all, obviously. I've got It. I've read Carrie. Cujo. I've got There's quite a few I've got on my physical TBR. Can't remember what exactly ones are at the moment, like off the top of my head. So I'm hoping to get to more, because like he's got like over 50 books out, and I'm not reading all of that. It's just fucking delusional. I'm not going to be reading his non-fiction because, well, I might, depends. Because I'm not really a non-fiction person. Like, if I'm reading non-fiction, it'll be about like true crime, supernatural. That's like the type of non-fiction I read. Like, and I read certain memoirs, so that's like the type of ones I do read. But we'll see when we get to it. I've obviously got the second book in the U series, which is Hidden Bodies. I've got the third one on my physical TBR, but I'm not including it in my January one because I don't really think I'm gonna read all 9 books in January, but we will see. So we've got Hidden Bodies, which is the second book in the series. I obviously haven't read the first one, that's why it's here. I'm on page 30 of you, so, but I am going to be focusing on this one a lot more, and then once I've read that, I will then pick some up from my physical TBR. So Hidden Bodies, which is obviously the second book in the series. We've also got, because I'm going to jump on the hype. We've got Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I'm on chapter 2 apparently. I don't remember what happened in the first 12 pages of the book, so I'm just going to put this back at the start, because I honestly don't remember what the fuck's happening in 12 pages. People say I should read Once Upon a Broken Heart before this. I don't have Once Upon a Broken Heart, like the trilogy, on my physical TBR at this point in time. So I'm obviously not going to be picking up that, because what's the point if I don't have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and when I obviously have this particular copy. So I'm just going to jump straight into Caravel, and then we'll see if I want to continue on with the series, because obviously, like, I might not like Caravel, considering I only read 12 pages. Well, I read chapter 2, which was page 12, and put it down, and then never picked it back up again. That's why it's on the physical TBR. That's why it's on the physical TBR, because I haven't actually read it yet, and it's been on my TBR for probably within this year. The next two were a bit like iffy for me, because I don't actually know if I'm gonna like them. We've got Grey by E.L. James, which is would you consider it the 4th book in the series of 50 Shades of Grey, or would you consider it something else? I don't know, but it's the first book from Christian Grey's POV. I've got the other, or is it the second one? I can't remember. I can't remember if it's the first or second. I think it's first. In the Christian Grey POVs, because I've read all of them from what we get from Anastasia. So the original ones, which are, I don't know, 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Darker, and Freed. I've read them. But when I got these from my best mate for Christmas in 2024, she got me all 6, which was 3 from Christian's and 3 from Anna's. So I read the original trilogy, which was Anastasia's POV. I've read all of them, and I actually finished one this month. So, and then I'm going to get on to Christian's POV. These have obviously been on my physical TBRs for a year now, and I do actually want to get them off my physical TBR because they've been on here that long. So yeah, that's like the 7th or 8th book. I've got quite a big stack here. And then the last book I'm hoping to get to this month is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I was going to put the second book in, another book in the series in my physical TBR for this month, but when I realised that the one I've got is actually the 3rd one, So I've got the first and third. I don't have the second. So before I put the third one on my physical TBR, I've got to go out and read. Well, pick up the second book in the series. So I've got Say Swear, and then I've got the third book somewhere in my physical TBR, but it's not going to be added to January. So when I get the second one will be put onto my physical TBR at some point. So I'm hoping to get to like 100, well, between 50 and 100 books in 2026, because I managed to get to like 80 odd books this year. I can't remember what my exact number was, but it was like in the 80s, I think 82 or 83. That's how many I read this year, and I'm trying to hopefully get to more. And that, like, I don't care if I don't, but I'm hoping. So a few contenders I'm hoping to get to in January. If I don't get to January, they'll be on my February TBR. These are the 4 that will be added. Will be like, if I read all of my. If I finish on TBR by the time, like, before January ends, I'm hoping to get to Timing 7 by Chloe Walsh. It's the 4th, no, but 5 in the Boys of Tom series. I've read like 30 pages of this. I can't remember where I actually got to, but I got to like 33. Just putting a bookmark in there. But like, I'm hoping that, so I'm going to put it off until I've got the 6th book, releasing 10 on my physical TBR. So if I finish my physical TBR, this will be like for January, and it's still January. This will be the next one I pick up, and then we've got 3 Freedom McFadden books, which really are more like thriller books than anything. So we've got Dead Med, The Intruder, and Do You Remember? So those are the 4 books I'm hoping to get to in Jan, plus my physical TBR. But if they don't, I will most likely see them in my February TBR. But like, actually 5, because I'm gonna. So if I can manage to read You and Hidden Bodies, and January isn't over, I will put You in my You Love Me. No, I said You Love Me in my physical TBR, and then it will be the same with the other 2 Fifty Shades of Grey books, which is Freed and Darker. So realistically, that's if I manage to finish whatever the first 50 Shades Grey and You and Hidden Bodies. And then if I finish obviously the rest of my physical TBR for the month, great. If I finish it before the end of the month, fucking brilliant. I'll be jumping off the rooftops. And then these will be the ones I do try and get to if the month isn't over. So obviously, as I said at the start of the video, if I don't finish if I don't finish all my books in my physical TBR for January, they will obviously be put into the February TBR. And then one of it isn't finished. Like, if I don't finish any in Feb, it will be put onto my March TBR, and it'll be like that for the rest of the year. And I don't have a 26 before the end. I am just hoping to get to Taming and Releasing. So Taming 7 and Releasing 10. Those are the 2 books that I really, really want to get to before the end of the year. And then any other Chloe Walsh releases that she releases, if she does release any in 2026. But I do hope to finish Priest and Butchered and Blackbird. So that's exactly what 4. So two Chloe Walsh releases. 3 of these, because it's trilogy, so that's like, and they've all been released, but I only have Butchered and Blackbird. So that's like what, 5. And then the 3 Priest books, which is like 9, no, 8. So it's like 8 books that I'm hoping to get to this year that I know I do definitely want to get to. I do want to start reading like more of my favourite authors' backlogs. So like Elsie Silver, I think people like Elsie Silver, Elle Kennedy. I've only read 2 books from Elle Kennedy. I don't know how, I think it's 2 from Elle Kennedy, no, Elsie Silver as well. I've got The Side of, or Wild Eyes, something like that, the 3rd book in her, I think it's Chestnut Spring series. And then her books are so good so far. So I am actually hoping to get to them their backlog, and I am gonna try and get to, like, if I enjoy Butcher and Blackbird, and then like the rest of this one, I don't know what the series is called, the Ruinous Love Trilogy. So if I love them, I'll move on to Brienne Weaver's backlog. Same with Ali Hazelwood and Freedom McFadden. I don't know how many Freedom McFadden books I've actually read. I know I've read Ward D. That's definitely a book I read because I think I received it for my birthday in October, and then I read it then. I am hoping to get to like more, because like my typical like genre is romance. Just romance. I love anything romance, but I am actually hoping to move past that and go into more fantasy romance. But I did actually jump it into Alchemized, read it, you know. That was not my first dark fantasy romance, if you know what I'm saying. But I am actually hoping to get to more genres than just romance, because I just stick to romance, and I don't want to. Like, I do read certain other books at the exact same time, but like it's never anything major, if you get what I'm saying. So it's mainly just romance. So I do hope to get to more genres by the end of the year, like fantasy, thrillers, dark. I do want to get into dark romances because apparently they're really good, and I do want to get into more dark romances. So I can get some of that, I definitely will. Who the fuck wants me? So I'm hoping to get to like between 50 and 100 books. So I'm hoping it'll be on the higher side of 100. So like, hopefully I read more than 100. Hopefully, but we will see.